Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something a bit different, not just articles, but, well, it's more like a tactical field guide for right now, a blueprint for scaling yourself into a founder, but without a massive team.
It's called the prompt vault, and you're right, it's more than just a list of commands.
Much more.
It's really a map for what feels like, a huge inflection point in what we can do. We're moving past the early AI stuff.
Oh, for sure. The ask a question, get a decent answer phase.
Exactly. That whole search and converse era, it's kind of over if you're serious about business.
I totally agree. We were all trained in the Google era to be hunters of information, and then early ChatGPT taught us to be conversationalists with a bot. But this material argues for a fundamental mind shift. You're not a searcher anymore.
You're an architect.
You're an architect, so I love that.
And that's the jump into what the vault calls the agentic era. We're not just asking for answers. We're directing these complex, multi-step workflows. The AI becomes a skilled collaborator.
And the goal isn't just to be a little bit faster.
No. The goal is exponential output from, a one-person team.
And the whole thing hinges on the prompt itself. The source frames a great prompt as a lever that can genuinely move mountains. We're talking about the kind of digital leverage that lets you write a book in a few weeks or build a whole sales funnel in an afternoon.
So our mission today is really laser-focused. We're going to synthesize the absolute core, the most profitable prompts that let you, the listener, stop being a task manager and start operating like an executive director.
Building the architecture to automate everything else.
That's the idea.
Okay, so let's get into it. The term high-impact prompt is everywhere now. But what really separates the instructions in this vault from, the stuff everyone else is doing? What gives them that strategic power?
It all boils down to building what the SOAR calls a structured micro-ecosystem around your requests. A really great prompt has a clear four-pillar anatomy.
And if you miss one,
your output just it degrades instantly.
Okay, so walk us through them. What are the four pillars?
The first one sounds simple, but it is so critical. It's role persona.
So you tell the AI who to be.
Precisely. It's not write an email. It's act as a ruthless CFO or act as a Silicon Valley consultant with 20 years of exit experience. It completely changes the AI's tone, its filters, its whole perspective.
It's like casting the right actor for the part. Got it.
Yeah.
What's pillar two?
The second is context and variables. Look, the best prompts are not templates, they're calibrated instruments.
Calibrated how?
They use bracketed variables. So instead of a generic post about marketing, you feed it your specific information inside brackets. Your industry, your value proposition, your target audience.
Ah, so it becomes a precision tool tailored exactly to you.
Exactly. And that leads to the third pillar, the framework. This is giving the AI a map to follow.
A structure.
A structure, right. You tell it to use the ADA model for copy, or the Feynman technique to simplify something complex. It guides the AI to a predictable, usable result.
Okay, and the last one?
The last one is constraints. And so many people miss this.
So telling it what not to do. Why that's so important for getting like a strategic output?
Because AI defaults to bland. It defaults to safe. Without constraints, you get corporate jargon. You explicitly have to say no corporate jargon or maintain a witty, slightly cynical voice. The constraints are what remove the fluff.
So it's not just asking for something, it's building a whole rule book around the request, turning a question into a fully scoped project.
You got it.
Okay, so once you have that architecture, the source material brings up this really crucial decision matrix, the model routing table. Basically knowing which AI engine to use.
This is huge. It can double your effectiveness. You have to see them as complementary tools, not competitors. For instance, you use Claude, especially 3.5 Sonnet or Opus, when you need complexity in voice. Claude is the undisputed champion of replicating your voice. For complex reasoning, for ethical nuance, for thoughtful collaboration, it's Claude.
So if I'm writing something high stakes, like a legal document or a really personal company-wide memo where the tone has to be perfect,
that's Claude. It maintains that human element, that consistency. Now, when do we grab ChatGPT, GPT-4 specifically?
I'm guessing speed, hard data.
Absolutely. Speed, real-time data, and structured analysis.
Yeah.
That's its sweet spot. If you need 50 social media hooks based on today's trends, that's GPT-4. If you're parsing a massive CSV file or need JSON output for an API, GPT-4.
So you route the task to the model's strength, nuanced writing to Claude, data crunching to ChatGPT.
That's how you get the best of both worlds.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where the digital leverage turns into actual time and money. The prompts for the solopreneur engine. Let's start with what feels like the most revolutionary one for anyone who's just buried in work, the Ghost Founder strategy.
This one is a perfect example of that prompt architecture we just talked about. You instruct the AI, act as a COO and strategic advisor.
Okay.
Then you feed it your business type, your average work week. And the prompt forces the AI to identify the 3 highest impact tasks you need to automate to reclaim 50% of your time while doubling your output.
Wow. So it's not just listing tasks, it's performing a strategic analysis on your workflow.
And the notes recommend Claude for this because it's better at that complex reasoning needed to find what it calls leaky workflows. The subtle time sucks you're too close to even see.
It's telling you where to stop doing and start architecting.
Precisely.
So if that frees up half our time, the next step is making that new time compound. Content. Let's talk about the content atomizer.
This is the machine that gets you off the content treadmill. Instead of creating 10 different things from scratch,
You take one big, high-quality piece of content, like a research paper or a case study.
right. You feed that foundational piece in, and the prompt turns it into your distribution strategy. It creates 10 platform-specific posts for LinkedIn, X, Instagram.
And the key isn't just summarizing it, right?
No, that's the magic. The prompt requires the AI to adapt the hook and the culture for each platform. The hook that works on a professional LinkedIn audience is going to bomb on the fast-paced, punchy feed on X. The atomizer gets that. It tunes the content.
Efficiency squared. I love that. And then there's the low-hanging fruit content you've already made. The YouTube to blog transformer.
A huge time saver. You just drop in a video or podcast transcript. The prompt forces the AI to spin it into a, say, 1,000-word SEO-optimized blog post.
With proper headers and everything.
Full H2H3 structure for readability, plus a TLDR summary right at the top. It's pure value extraction from assets you already have.
Okay, so last in this section, protecting that executive time. As a director, your focus is your most valuable asset. The Vault calls this one the ultimate time shield, the inbox gatekeeper.
This is a sophisticated system instruction you'd feed to an AI agent, maybe connected through Zapier or make to your email. Its whole job is triage.
Sorting the signal from the noise.
Exactly. It categorizes every email. Action required, financial, networking, or just noise. And for the networking requests or the unsolicited pitches, it drafts polite but firm responses that protect your deep work hours.
So instead of wading through junk for 90 minutes every morning, you just deal with the critical action items.
You're moving from manager to director instantly.
Okay, so once we move from prompts for single tasks to prompts for building entire systems, that's where the real compounding effect kicks in.
This is the leap. This is when we move from execution to architecture. The director's job isn't doing the task, it's designing the system that does the task.
Which brings us to the Zapier Make Logic Designer prompt. This sounds super technical.
It sounds it, but the goal is to make it simple. You're basically asking the AI to design the connective tissue between all your software.
Okay, so how does that work?
You tell it what you want to happen. Say when a new purchase comes through Stripe, you list your tools, and the AI designs the full logic flow. The exact if-then conditions, the filters, the data points that need to be mapped from one tool to the next.
It's like an architectural blueprint for your automation.
Yeah.
And the source has this strategic multiplier built in.
This is the high-impact move. You explicitly ask the AI to identify the most likely place this automation will break.
Find the flaw before it happens.
Yes, and it suggests error handling protocols. You build in resilience from the start, stress testing your architecture before you even deploy it.
That's brilliant. Okay, so preventing failure is one thing. But what about compounding what actually works? We all iterate, but often it feels like we're just guessing.
And that's what the postmortem optimizer is designed to stop. No more guessing.
This is where you feed it your engagement metrics, right? The raw data.
All of it. Views, shares, comments from your last 5 posts. The notes suggest GPT-4 for this because of its raw speed with structured data.
And the AI's job is to, what? Yeah. Find the winner.
It identifies the outlier post the top performer, then it explains why it worked. Was it the topic, the format, the time of day, and then it generates 3 variations on that success so you can double down on what's proven to work.
A data-driven feedback loop for your entire media strategy. Okay, and to truly scale, you have to remove yourself as the bottleneck, which leads to the SOP creator.
The standard operating procedure creator. This is how you clone your effort.
For every manual task the director is still doing.
You describe a manual task, like processing new client onboarding, and this prompt turns it into a step-by-step procedure a virtual assistant or even another AI agent can follow.
And it includes failure points.
It requires defining failure points to watch for and a crystal clear definition of done. This is how you delegate effectively and get out of the execution layer for good.
All right, let's zoom out to the highest level. We've talked tactics, we've talked systems. Now let's talk strategy and mindset. These are the prompts that really define a director's vision.
This is where you move from thinking about today to thinking about the next 5 years. My personal favorite is the second-order effects engine. This is the ultimate executive prompt.
So you feed it a major decision, like
Yeah.
changing a pricing model or entering a new market, and it analyzes it with a 2x2 matrix.
Yes, and it forces you to consider the consequences of the consequences. What does this decision look like in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years? It immediately surfaces those short-term wins that cause long-term headaches.
Can you give us a quick example? What's a short-term win that becomes a long-term headache?
Sure. A huge short-term win could be landing one massive enterprise client that makes up 80% of your revenue.
Right, sounds great today.
But the prompt will immediately flag the second-order effect. In 5 years, you have a massive single point of failure. You've lost control. You can't pivot. The prompt forces you to create a mitigation plan, like a client diversity strategy, today.
That's true foresight. Wow. Okay, and before you launch anything big, there's also the pre-mortem protocol, a failure-proofing strategy.
I love this one. You tell the AI to imagine your new project has failed spectacularly 6 months from now.
A pre-mortem.
Exactly. And it has to list the top 5 specific reasons why it failed. The integration broke, the ad spend ran dry, concrete things. And for each one, it gives you a mitigation strategy you can implement right now.
It turns that abstract fear of failure into an actual actionable checklist. Okay, finally, for the big mental model shift, the future self interview.
This one is pure identity hacking. You instruct the AI to act as you 3 years in the future, having already built your one-person empire.
And it interviews your current self.
It interviews your current self. And it asks 3 uncomfortable questions that force you to think like that future version of you. It shifts your perspective from the person buried in tasks to the architect you want to be.
Making sure your decisions today align with that bigger vision. Incredible.
So if we pull all this together, the real power isn't in just one prompt, it's in the stacking, the integration of these workflows.
Right. When you combine the content atomizer with the post-mortem optimizer, you're not just making posts. You're building a self-correcting media company that learns and improves every single week.
The systems work whether you're there or not. And what the Vault makes so clear is that this agentic era, it's not really defined by how smart the AI models are. They're becoming commodities.
It's defined by the people directing them.
It's defined by the agency of the individual.
So your competitive advantage isn't the AI model you use, it's the clarity of your intent.
That's the whole game.
If you walk away with just one thing from this deep dive, it should be this. Stop searching. Start architecting.
No, so a final thought for you to take away, rooted right in this material. Before you run your next big prompt, try this. Run the fear-setting protocol on the one big move you've been putting off. Launching that product, raising your prices, whatever it is.
Define the absolute worst-case scenario.
Define it. List the steps to repair the damage if it happens, and then compare that to the real cost, the cost of inaction, of stagnation over the next 6 months. Turn that anxiety into a concrete strategic decision, and then go build the system that makes it happen.